Alright, this is Quiz 1 Study Guide. Problem number 1 asks you to find the sum of the angle measures of a 23-gon. A 23-gon has 23 sides, and the formula to find the sum of the angle measures of a 23-gon is n minus 2 times 180. And in this case, your n is 23. N represents the number of sides. So you got 23 minus 2 times 180. 23 minus 2 is 21. So 21 times 180. 3,780 degrees. Okay? And you may want to put a note by this formula. Alright? Use this when they ask for the sum. Okay? Use that formula when they ask for the sum of the angle measures. Number 2. In problem number 2, it says the sum of the angle measures of a polygon with S sides is 3,420 degrees. Find S, which is the number of sides. So in this case, okay, if n minus 2 times 180 equals the sum of the interior angles. In problem number 2, they give you the sum. Alright, so they're giving you this number, and they're asking you to find the number of sides. They're calling it S, but it's the same thing as N. So if you just replace the sum with the given number, and you do N minus 2 times 180, and you make it equal to 3,420. And you're going to solve for the N. So if you divide both sides by 180, you got n minus 2 equals 3,420 divided by 180. And that's 19. And then you can add 2 to each side. And n, which represents the number of sides, is equal to 21. So that shape has 21 sides. Problem number 3 asks you to find what is the measure of one angle in a regular 30-gon. Alright, so they want one angle. In a 30-gon. Okay, if they want one angle in a 30-gon, then you're going to take n minus 2. You're going to multiply it by 180, and you're going to divide it by n, which is the number of sides. They're asking for one of the angles in a 30-gon. So you use the formula for the sum of the angles, and then you divide it by the number of angles. So in this case, you're going to take 30 minus 2, multiply it by 180, and then divide it by 30. So in the numerator, you've got 28 times 180, which is 5040. And in the denominator, you have a 30, so just divide. And that's 168 degrees. So each angle inside of a 30-gon, a regular 30-gon, would measure 168 degrees. So it's the formula for the sum of the angles divided by the number of angles. And a 30-gon would have 30 interior angles. Number 4 says that a road sign is in the shape of a regular dodecagon. What is the measure of each angle in the road sign round to the nearest tenth? What is the measure of each angle? So when you're looking for each angle, you're going to use n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. Now, a dodecagon. There was that table. Hopefully you've got this written in your notes somewhere, unless you memorized the table. Dodecagon has 12 sides. So each angle in a dodecagon is going to be equal to 12 minus 2 times 180 divided by 12. So that's going to be 10 times 180 divided by 12. And that's 150 degrees. It's a dodecagon. Yeah, it's not a dodgegon. Dodecagon. That's 12. Dodecagon. There's a table on page 394. And most of them you know, but there's a couple odd ones like 7 sides is a heptagon. 9 is a nona, 10 is a deca. They don't have anything for an 11, so that'd be an 11gon. But 12 is dodeca. Number 5, you are asked to find the missing values. And it's a quadrilateral with a little tail on it. This exterior angle is 108. Here's y and x. And then 122 and 64 inside. All right, I would find the value of y first because it's the simplest. These two angles form a linear pair. So if you take 180 and you subtract 108, there should be 72 degrees left. All right, so 72 is what y is equal to. Now, if y is equal to 72 degrees, now you've got a 4-sided shape. You've got a quadrilateral. Okay, the sum of these interior angles would be n minus 2 times 180. The shape has 4 interior angles because it has 4 sides. So 4 minus 2 is 2 times 180, which is 360. 4 sides. 4 sides means 4 angles. That's your n. So if you take 360 and you subtract 72, 64, and 122, it's going to give you the value of x, which is the last angle. So 360 102 degrees. So your x is equal to 102 degrees, and your y is equal to 72 degrees. Number 6. Number 6 says the sum of the measures of 2 exterior angles of a triangle is 260. That's the sum of 2 exterior angles in a triangle. What is the measure of the third exterior angle? All right, we said on Tuesday that the sum of the exterior angles of all polygons is 360 degrees. Okay, so if you take 360, which is the sum of all the exterior angles, and you subtract 260, which was the sum of 2 of the angles, you're left with 100 degrees. which is the measure of the third exterior angle. Number 7, how many sides does a regular polygon have if each exterior angle measures 60 degrees? Okay, for all polygons, the sum of the exterior angles equals 360 degrees. If they tell you that one of them is 60, and it's a regular polygon, if it's a regular polygon, all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. All right? So if the sum is 360 and one of them is 60, you can divide 360 by 60, and that tells you that the shape has 6 sides. Did you have a question?
To go to the restroom, yes.
Excuse me?
To go to the restroom, yes. What? Okay.
Number 8 says that a non-regular hexagon has 5 exterior angles, and they give the measures of those exterior angles. And they ask you for the measure of the interior angle adjacent to the 6th exterior angle. All right, so pay attention here. The sum of all the exterior angles of any shape is 360. Okay? So look, you got 360 that all these angles have to add up to. So if you subtract the 5 angles that are given, the 5 exterior angles that are given, you're going to subtract a 50 and a 58 and a 69, a 52 and a 55. Okay? Subtract all those angles from 360. So there's 76 degrees left. Okay? That means the 6th exterior angle of this shape measures 76 degrees. So somewhere in this shape, okay, it's a hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. So if you had a shape, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. If you extend one of these, all right, this angle, one of these angles in this shape is 76 degrees. But the question is, what is the measure of the interior angle next to or adjacent to the 6th exterior angle? So they're asking for this angle measure right here. Okay? So in this case, you got to find the exterior angle measure. And then you're going to take, these two are a linear pair, aren't they? Okay, so now you would have to take 180, subtract the 76 from it, and you're left with 104 degrees. All right, so that would be the interior angle measure that's next to the 6th exterior angle measure. Number 9, parallelogram. And the parallelogram has vertices M, J, K, L, O. M, J, K, L, and O is right here in the middle. K, L, O is 75 degrees. This angle right here. K, L, O is 75. M, L, O is 47. So this angle. Let's do that one in blue. This angle right here. That's 47. Find the measure of KJM. KJM, that's right here. K over to J and down to M. So you're looking for this entire angle. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are congruent. So these two angles are equal to each other. So this angle down here on the bottom is going to be equal to the 47 plus the 75, which is 122 degrees. Which means that this angle up here is also 122 degrees. Problem number 10. The measure of QRP is 38 degrees. So QRP is right here. QRP, 38 degrees. PRS, PRS, 76 degrees. Looks like the last question so far. Find the measure of PQR. All right, look, they're asking for this angle. P, Q, over to R. So they're looking for this angle right here. All right, it says that the diagram is not to scale. So this angle down here on the bottom, SRQ, it would be equal to, what's 76 plus 38? 114 degrees. We said yesterday that consecutive angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. Supplementary means they add up to 180. So to find this angle up top, you take 180 and you subtract 114 from it. So 180 minus 114 is 66 degrees. This angle up here is 66 degrees. Number 11. ABCD is a parallelogram. If CDA is 70, so CDA is right here. 70 degrees. Then the measure of BCD. BCD is this angle. Okay, again, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles are supplementary. So this angle C right here would be 180 minus the 70 that's already given. So there's 110 degrees left. Number 12. These angles are numbered. I'm gonna, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're told that the measure of angle 2 is 4x minus 27. So this is 4x minus 27. Angle 4 is 3x minus 12, so 3x minus 12. Find the measure of angle 1. Find the measure of angle 1. So you're looking for this angle right here. All right, so this is a couple steps involved here. You got to solve for x first. So opposite angles are congruent. So your 4x minus 27 is equal to 3x minus 12. Subtract 3x from each side. X minus 27 equals negative 12. Add 27 to each side. And x equals negative 12 plus 27 is 15. If you know what x is equal to, you can substitute it into the expression for angle 2. So you're going to take 4 times 15, and you're going to subtract 27. So 4 times 15 is 60 minus 27. 60 minus 27 is 33 degrees. So angle 2, this angle right here, is 33 degrees. The question was, what is the measure of angle 1? Consecutive angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. So if you take 180 and you subtract 33, it will give you the measure of angle 1. So 147 degrees. Number 13. You're told that D to H is x plus 5. And that H to F is 2y. G to H is 3x minus 3. And H to E is 5y plus 3. Find the values of x and y. So we need to find x and y. All right, this is a substitution problem. You've got these diagonals bisect each other, but as you can see, you've got different variables related to each segment of each diagonal. So you're going to set up one equation that x plus 5 is equal to 2y. All right, that's this segment congruent to this segment. You've got to set up another equation that says 3x minus 3 is equal to 5y plus 3. That means that this segment is congruent to this segment. Now, like I said, you've got x and a y in both equations. So in this case, what you do is you solve for one variable first. So the easiest thing to do right here is to solve for x. If you solve for x by subtracting 5 from each side, then x is going to be equal to 2y minus 5. Now that you have a value for x in the bottom equation, you can replace the x with a 2y minus 5. So it would look like this. 3, where the x is, you put the 2y minus 5 equals 5y plus 3. So do the distributive property. So 3 times 2y is 6y minus 15 is equal to 5y plus 3.
So what did you do? You did 2y plus.
I did 3 times 2y, which is 6y, and then 3 times negative 5, which is negative 15. Distributive property.
Don't do the variables first. You can't do it because they have.
You can't move the variables yet. I mean, you don't want to because you want to do the distributive property first. So if you now subtract 5y from each side, then you've got y minus 15 is equal to 3. And you can add 15 to each side. So in this case, your y value is equal to 18. If y is equal to 18, there's the first part of the problem. So y equals 18. If you go back to this first equation and replace this y with an 18, okay, then x plus 5 is going to equal 2 times 18. So x plus 5 equals 2 times the value of y, which is 18. So x plus 5 equals 36. And you can subtract 5 from each side. So x would be equal to 31. So y is 18 and x equals 31. Number 14.
On the answers, it says different answer.
All right, in the parallelogram, or LMNO is a parallelogram, if n to m is x plus 14, O to L is 5x plus 6. Find the value of x, and then find NM and OL. So opposite sides in a parallelogram are congruent. So 5x plus 6 is equal to x plus 14. Subtract x from each side. 4x plus 6 is equal to 14. Subtract 6 from each side. So 4x is going to equal 8, and divide each side by 4. So x is equal to 2, which is the first part of the question. If x is equal to 2, right here you replace the x with a 2. So 2 plus 14 is 16. And 5 times 2 plus 6 would be 10 plus 6, which is also 16.